Good afternoon and welcome to the 12:20 Sports Bulletin with me, Matty Perry.
And me, Dan Holes.
Starting with football. Newport County prove the magic of the FA Cup isn't dead as they defeated Middlesbrough 2-0 to set up a glamour tie with Manchester City in the fifth round. The League Two outfit outplayed their championship opponents with second half goals from former shelf stacker Robbie Wilmot and top scorer Patrick Hammond, securing a famous victory. A dream tie against Premier League champions Manchester City follows, with Staffordshire University graduate Mike Flynn relishing the opportunity to face off against Pep Guardiola and welcoming them to Rodney Parade. It was a double celebration for goalkeeper Joe Day after he discovered his wife had gone into labour and given birth to two healthy twin girls after the game. Elsewhere, Wolves came from behind against League One side Shrewsbury Town to win an entertaining game 3-2 at Molineux. A Matt Doherty double, along with an Ivan Cavallero strike, secured their place in the next round against Bristol City. In the other games, Brentford defeated non-league Barnet 3-1 and QPR beat Portsmouth 2-0. Tonight, West Brom face off against Brighton in the final fourth round match, with the first game ending 0-0 at the MX Stadium.
Manchester City face Everton at the Etihad this evening as they look to build on Sunday's victory over Arsenal. City will be without injured captain Vincent Kompany due to a muscular injury, while Claudio Bravo and Benjamin Mendy are long-term concerns. Idrissa Gueye is likely to go straight back into the side for Everton after returning from a hamstring injury, but first-choice left-back Luca Digne returns from suspension. City manager Pep Guardiola says his side needs to remain focused ahead of Wednesday night. A win could take Guardiola's side top of the Premier League after Liverpool slumped to their second consecutive draw against West Ham on Monday.
Normally I had a tendency to talk a lot for the other ones. That is a huge mistake. When my experience for my career, whenever you start to speak what happened there and do, you forget what you have to do. That is the moment you are going to drop points.
In local football, John Askey faced the press for the first time as Port Vale manager on Tuesday afternoon, and he admits that he would take great pride in bringing some success back to Vale Park, a place that is close to his heart.
It is the position that I'm in to get Port Vale as a league club. Then it is a dream job for me, and I just hope that I can do myself justice and obviously the supporters justice, and get one or two people smiling again about the club. And obviously that's only going to come with results, but hopefully we can get the results and play decent football, and it would give me nothing more pleasure than to be able to do that and bring that to the football club.
And we have Port Vale expert Matty Roper with us in the studio to talk about the new man in the dugout. Hello, Matty.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Good. Well, there's only one place to start. What do you make of the appointment of John Askey?
I think it's a good one. I think with the local connections he's got to the club, he was born in Milton, which is just down the road from Vale. He also played there as a youth player. His dad also played for the club. So he's got an affinity with it. So I think having that passion for the club would certainly help him as he tries to move it forward now from what is a pretty low position.
How difficult of a job do you think he has on his hands, considering the position where Port Vale are on the table?
I think it is tough, especially now the transfer window's passed. He's stuck with the squad he's got. He's got that group of players to work with, and he's going to have to get on with it. The resources aren't exactly great at Vale compared to other teams in the league. And one thing he will have to arrest straight away is the home form. They haven't won at home in the league since the 27th of October. So he's got to get those home fans on side. I think that'd be the priority, and then obviously any away points then to build on that will be seen as a positive.
What influence do you think he'll have on the dressing room?
I think he'll bring discipline. I think he showed that at Macclesfield when they won the National League last season with 92 points as well. Great achievement for him and the club. Obviously Vale are in a position to be challenging at that end of the table at the moment, but his priority will be to bring discipline. And having spoken to a couple of the players yesterday after training, they seem very happy with the way it went. There was a lot of structure to it and they seem to be happy with the intensity, so hopefully that can translate into match days now.
And finally, Matty, before you go, is avoiding relegation the main priority for John Askey this season?
I think it has to be. They're currently 6 points above the bottom two in the 4th division, so it's got to be the priority. I think the club just needs to stay up and ensure they're in the Football League again next year, and if his contract is extended beyond the point which currently lies at the end of the season it would run out, then is the chance to build on that, but the priority at the moment has to be staying in the division, I think.
Okay, Matty, it's been great speaking to you. Thank you very much.
In the Copa del Rey, Lionel Messi is a doubt for Barcelona's home tie against nearest rivals Real Madrid tonight. The Argentine forward suffered a thigh injury in last Saturday's 2-2 draw against Valencia, but has been included in the squad for the first leg. Manager Ernesto Valverde has said he will wait until the last moment to decide if the former Ballon d'Or winner plays. Messi is El Clasico's all-time leading goalscorer with 25 goals.
Former Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney says Mauricio Pochettino is the right man for the job should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer be appointed. Pochettino has been heavily linked with the post, but Solskjaer has made himself a strong contender. United are unbeaten since the Norwegian took over, claiming 22 points in 10 games, and the Englishman says it would be good to see his former teammate get the chance, but if they were to look elsewhere, Pochettino would be the right guy.
In Formula 1, Red Bull team boss Christian Horner says Max Verstappen is the driver Lewis Hamilton should fear the most ahead of the new season. He believes he has all the skills to take on the current world champion and has cleaned up his act after indiscipline drew criticism last year. Horner also said Hamilton is at a different stage of his career to Verstappen and that his driver is the future of the sport.
Tennis star Petra Kvitova appeared in court today after being stabbed at her home back in 2016. Our tennis reporter Jamie Buchan has more.
Back in 2016, Australian Open finalist Petra Kvitova suffered serious damage to her ligaments and tendons in her left hand after fighting off an intruder at her home in the Czech Republic. Now, after undergoing surgery and returning to tennis, she is giving a graphic testimony at the trial of the man accused of stabbing her. The tennis star told the court how it was like a scene out of a horror film where there was blood all over the place. The suspect, who is 33-year-old Zadim Zondra, faces 12 years in prison if he is found guilty, but still denies all allegations. Kvitova made no public comment after the testimony, but her spokesman said she was pleased to put it all behind her and focus on her tennis once again. Jamie Buchan, Staffs Live.
In snooker, world champion Mark Williams has crashed out of the World Grand Prix after he suffered a shock 4-3 defeat to Chinese teenager Wan Sihun. Williams took the first frame before 18-year-old Wan produced a break of 100, but the Welshman rallied back to level before Wan went on to win the last two frames and cause a major upset. Defending champion Ronnie O'Sullivan was a fellow first-round casualty after being defeated by Marco Fu.
To basketball now, and LA Lakers star LeBron James has become the fifth player in NBA history to pass 32,000 points. Unfortunately for James, this was a night of mixed emotions after he was also suffered the biggest defeat of his career to date. James scored 18 points as his Lakers side lost 136-94 at the Indiana Pacers.
In golf, world number 2 Brooks Koepka has accused Sergio Garcia of acting like a child following the Spaniard's disqualification at the Saudi International. Garcia became the first player to be disqualified for serious misconduct on the European Tour, and Koepka says that the 2017 Masters champion is showing no respect to fellow players.
It's frustrating as a player to see, to act like that. The disrespect to everybody, to act like a child out there is not. It's not cool. It's not setting a good example, and it's not cool to us. I mean, you're 40 years old, so you got to grow up eventually.
Sixth-tier French side AGCN don't have one manager, but rather 2,000 virtual coaches. The idea takes inspiration from a Football Manager video game which allows players to control the club as a virtual manager. These coaches help make decisions such as the team lineup, substitutions and style of play. However, a ruling by the French Football Federation in December could jeopardise the manager's plans.
Former British cycling doctor Richard Freeman has failed to attend his opening day of medical tribunal as his lawyer requested a 48-hour adjournment. A 3-person panel will consider a privacy request due to Freeman revealing in an interview he had suffered from depression and suicidal thoughts. Freeman, the former Team Sky doctor, has been charged with ordering testosterone in 2011 to give an unnamed rider a boosted performance.
Just before we go, our thoughts go out to the victims and their families of the Munich air disaster. That's all from us now, and we'll see you next week.